Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth, thoughts and meditations of my heart, find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank who've inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. I will have links below to their sites. They are Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Ali Mansour, Balon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovad, Rav Daniel Asur, Rabbi David Asher, and Rabbi Ron Ruvain as well. If you've never checked out this channel before, we'll have a link below to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I am doing. So this is, again, from Rabbi Ali Mansour's weekly Parsha Insights for the upcoming Parsha Devarim. So we're in a new Parsha and a new Sefer Devarim as well. So I call this our survival as a nation. So the Aron, which is the ark in the Beit HaMikdash, featured on top of it two kiruv, which are golden figurines which served as a, quote, barometer of Hashem's relationship with the Jewish people. At times when Hashem was pleased with his nations, the two kiruvim faced one another, but when he was displeased, they turned away from one another. The Talmud teaches that on the three regalim, which are the pilgrimage festivals of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, when Bnei Yisrael would assemble in Yerushalayim, the Kohanim would open the curtain to expose the Aron, and the people would see the two kiruvim embracing one another. These occasions were times of great love and closeness between Hashem and Am Yisrael, and so the kiruvim not only faced each other, but locked in a warm, affectionate embrace. Elsewhere, the Gemara gives a famous account of what happened when Titus, the evil general of the Roman army, or Titus, however you pronounce it, entered the Beit HaMikdash and stormed into the Kodesh HaKodashim, which is the inner sanctum of the Mikdash where the Aron stood. I think he meant startlingly, it says it a little wrong, startlingly, like he was startled, or startlingly, the Gemara relates that when Titus entered the chamber, he looked at the ark and saw the two kiruvim embracing one another. On this day, when Hashem unleashed his anger against the Jewish people, bringing in the Roman legions who set the Beit HaMikdash and Yerushalayim ablaze, and killed, plundered, and exiled the Jews, the kiruvim embraced, reflecting Hashem's great love for the Jewish people. The Netivot Shalom, who's Rav Shalom Noach Berezovsky of Slonim, explains why the kiruvim were embracing at that moment. The Jews were then leaving their homeland and being driven into what would be many centuries of bitter exile. They must have been concerned that they would no longer survive as a nation. After all nations share several things, including a land. No other nation retained its national identity while being dispersed throughout the world. But the Jews are an exception, the only exception to this rule. We have remained a nation even when we did not have our land, and we did this because of the Torah. We were driven from our homeland, but we took the Torah with us. And we took the Torah with us wherever we went during the long period of exile. This is how we survived as a nation. This, the Netivot Shalom explains, is the reason why the kiruvim over the Aron embraced on the day of the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. The Aron, which stored the original copy of the Sefer Torah, represents the Torah. On the day we were exiled from our land, Hashem assured us that our relationship with him would continue through the Torah. We would be without a land for many centuries, but we would always have with us the, quote, Aron, which is the Torah, which we would study and meticulously observe. And this is how we would survive as a nation during centuries of dispersion. The Arizal, who's Rav Yitzchak Luria of Safat, taught that the four letters of Hashem's name, Yud, Hey, Vav, and Hey, can be arranged in 12 different configurations, and each configuration corresponds to one of the 12 months. And the Arizal said each configuration is alluded to in a verse in Tanakh. So the Arizal revealed to us which months correspond to which configuration. And according to his system, the month of Av, which is the month that we're going to be coming into, is represented by the configuration Hey, Vav, Yud, and Hey. This arrangement of letters, the Arizal said, is alluded to in the verse in the book of Devarim 27:9, where Moshe says to the people, Hasket u'shema Yisrael hayom hazeh nihiyeta la'am. Be silent and listen, O Israel, this day you have become a nation. The first letters of the words are Hey, Vav, Yud, and Hey, from that sentence that I just read, the first four words of there. Hey, I just wanted to make sure I was reading that right. So it's the first four words, Hasket, Ushema, Yisrael, Hayom, is the Hey, the Yud, the Hey, the Vav, the Yud, and the Hey, which is alluded to the month of Av. At first glance, the Netivot Shalom writes this verse seems hardly fitting as a symbol of the month of Av. In fact, it might be the least fitting verse, as it speaks of Am Yisrael becoming a nation, and on Tisha B'Av we lost our Beit HaMikdash and our homeland. But in light of what we have seen, the Netivot Shalom writes, the answer becomes clear. On the day of Tisha B'Av, we became a nation like no other. This was the day when we became a nation whose identity was determined by something other than a common land. On this day, we became a nation defined by the Torah and not by anything else. We have survived the millennia of exile, dispersion, upheaval, and persecution through our commitment to Torah. And it is through this commitment that, please Hashem, we will earn our final redemption and be worthy of returning to our homeland and celebrating the rebuilding of the Beit HaMikdash speedily in our days. Amen. And I thank you for watching.